Well, this is a real treat. We've got Cullen Gillaspia, a fullback, a special teams extraordinaire, and the only 12th man in the history of 12th men from Texas A&M to get drafted. Cullen, first things first, how you been the last few months? I know I talked with you about a couple weeks ago, you and Darren Fells, and you guys were doing well. Everything still good?
Yeah, everything's still good on my end. Just trying to stay in shape and trying to eat healthy when you don't exactly have the resources to do that. So that's been a little bit challenging, but I guess it's kind of made me grow up as a professional athlete. So I'm doing well.
Well, good. That's good to hear. And since you bring up the working out aspect, let's talk a little bit about it. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been doing some stuff with Nick Martin and a few other teammates on the physical side of things as far as lifting weights and doing drills, right?
Yeah, I've been over at Martin Fitness at Nick Martin's house, and it was me, him, and Max Sharping, and we had our 8 a.m. workout group, and we were over there grinding. Nick's actually not currently in Houston anymore, or for the time being, but we had a pretty good thing going on over there, and it was good for me because I got to work out with two guys who are way bigger than me, so it helped my strength a lot.
Yeah, but I'm sure as offensive linemen, though, they do have a level of respect for you. You're not just some, wide receiver or skill position guy. You actually do a little dirty work when you're a fullback and what you do on special teams, right?
I try to. I try to help them out as much as I can. At the end of the day, I think the run game revolves around them. But if I can offer a hand here and there, I think they have a little respect for me for it.
Well, what was that like working out with them? Because I imagine you guys talk a lot about the season that was, and I imagine you talk a lot about the season that's coming up here in 2020. How's everybody's frame of mind as far as being ready for football when it does start back up, whenever that is?
I think both of those guys are real pros. I mean, Nick's been in the league for 4-ish years, and Max coming in and being a rookie last year with me, but starting 13 games. It's weird not being able to go into the stadium, being able to work out, but at the end of the day, it is your job, and so you got to kind of keep yourself prepared for that. And so I don't. We talked a lot about it, but I don't see those guys having any issues getting back onto the field and being ready to go for the season. At the end of the day, it's what we're paid to do, so we better be ready to do it.
And ultimately, I imagine you guys collectively, not just the three of you, but the rest of your team, y'all are pretty darn excited and pretty optimistic about what's to come this autumn, right?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Just being able to have Zoom meetings with the guys and getting to meet the new guys and the new faces on our team. It seems like we have a really good team together, and I can't be more excited to get on the field and start working with these guys and putting it all together.
Now, what's that been like for you? Because a year ago, you were thrown into the mix after being drafted, and really the pre-draft process you'd spent getting ready for pro days, getting ready for all that stuff. Whereas this time around, we've heard some guys describe all these Zoom meetings and these virtual OTAs as almost graduate level football work. I mean, how beneficial, A, how true is that, the graduate work aspect, and B, how beneficial has it been for you considering where you were and what you were doing a year ago?
Oh, it has been great for me. One of my things coming in the NFL, which I would tell coaches, is that my entire life I played defense. My first 4 years of college, I played defense. And then my 5th year of college, I got thrown into the offense. And so I had to memorize an offense and not really learn, the inner workings of the offense and how it all works. I kind of just had to learn my job, and this is what I got to do. And then so I spend 6 months in that offense, and then I get to the professional level and I'm playing offense again, but it's a completely different offense. So I still had to kind of, learn it on the run, okay, I got to be a fullback this year and I got to be able to play this position. And so it was nice to have this off season to where I could really start to understand the offense better. And instead of us, getting thrown to the wolves on the field every day and having to go out there and perform, it's been really cool to be able to focus on the mental aspect of the game and really break down how an offense works, and not just what I'm doing, but what everyone else around me is doing. So it's been really good. It's been super helpful for me, for sure.
That's great to hear. And I want to talk about special teams in a moment, because you made a huge impact there in 2019 on special teams. But as far as the offense goes, when you were on the field, it wasn't much offensively, but when you were on the field, very good things happened for the offense. How excited does that have you? I know it's kind of a throwback to the question I just asked before, but how excited personally are you knowing what you've learned over the last couple months and knowing what you might be able to help this offense do next season?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, I just want to help the team in any way that I can. And whether that's more at fullback or more at special teams or an increase in both or a decrease in one and an increase in the other, that doesn't really matter to me. I just want to be a part of the team and really just be able to help do what I can. I've been working really hard this off season. I've been trying to get a little bit bigger, get a little bit stronger, get a little bit faster to hopefully have a little more impact on offense. But at the end of the day, I think our coaches know best. So I'm just going to follow their lead. And if it's more, that's great. And if it's less, that's great. And I'm just going to keep doing my job and what I'm told to do. And I'm trying to do the best of my abilities.
Good stuff. That's what's gotten you this far so far. So keep it up. And then as far as special teams, man, you were part of a unit last year that really, I mean, when you guys punted or when you guys kicked off, the other team was starting at a disadvantage versus the rest of the league. I mean, on kickoffs, I think they started at the 22, the 23 maybe, which is better than if you just boomed it out of the end zone and got a touchback. And then on punts, over half of Brian Anger's punts were down inside the 20 by you guys. That was best in the NFL. That's not something we've seen around here quite a bit of. What was it like being a part of that success and seeing what you guys were able to do to help win ball games, really?
Yeah, it was great. A ton of credit to Brian and to Kaimi, to be able to cover a kick or cover a punt first, and John Weeks as well. The operation has to be there and they do have to kick the ball. And if they don't make a very good kick, it makes it harder for us to cover. So the fact that those guys did what they did and had the seasons they had, it's a credit to them. Not only just the guys who are down there covering, but the actual kicking part of the kicking game is a huge deal as well. So, but it was an honor to be able to be a part of that my rookie year and being able to, play on all four special teams. That's what I came into the league as, and that's what, I take pride in. And I think that we have a core group of guys on our team who take pride in special teams as well, because at the end of the day, that's why we're employed like that. Like, we have a job because of special teams. And so you want to take pride in what you do. And we have a bunch of unselfish guys who want to go out there and be the best kickoff team and be the best punt team. And so it's great coaches put us in great positions to have that great game plans and have a good core group of guys. So it's been cool to be able to take something that, I was super passionate about in college and step into a room of guys who are also passionate about special teams. So it's been a treat for me for sure.
Yeah, it's shown on the field. I mean, because before 2018, so last year, Texans were really good on special teams. They were the year before. But before that, I mean, it had been a while. And you're a Texans fan. You grew up in Katy Taylor. You would have some Brian Brayman highlights, and then few and far between. There were coverage highlights. It was just a tough time. So you mentioned some of these core guys that are so excellent on coverage. You even add to that mix with guys like Michael Thomas. What's the ceiling, I suppose? That's a tricky question to answer, but what could be the ceiling for you guys as far as the coverage units go in 2020?
I mean, I'm not one to put numbers on anything or make a prediction or do anything like that. I think if we do our job and compete like we did last year, we were the number 1 or number 2 kickoff team in the league and right around there at punt. So we pride ourselves on being the best, and I think that's our goal, to be the best special teams unit that we can be, and to help our team in any way possible. I'm not going to say we're going to go out there and be number 1, but I think that's everyone's goals. But why play the game if you don't want to be the best?
No doubt. All right, let's play 12 questions. The last time you and I did this, it was about 100 degrees. It was training camp. You passed with the flying colors, but let's do it now in the air-conditioned comfort of our own homes. And let's go back, or let's get in a time machine. You are who you are right now physically, height, strength, speed, all that stuff. You get to suit up for one game at Katy Taylor. What are you doing? Give me the stat line. Where are you playing? What positions? What happens?
I'm for sure playing running back. If you'd asked me this 5 years ago, I'd have said quarterback. But I'm playing running back now. Actually, I'm going both ways, running back
right,
and Michael linebacker. And I think I'm going to go and I want to say I want to beat the Katy Tigers, but I think I had a lot better friends on the Cinco Ranch squad, and
right.
We matched up a little better with them. So having me with what I am now, I'm not going to – Katy can go do their thing, but I think I'm going to have to go and whoop up on Cinco Ranch so I can kind of hang that over the heads of all the dudes I played junior high with.
All right. How many touchdowns are you running for?
Oh, at least 6.
Okay.
At least 6, probably 20 tackles, a couple sacks. It'd be great. And my team wasn't very good in high school, so I can't be like, oh, go back to like this playoff team. So I'm just taking a shot at all my buddies I went to middle school with. I go and whoop up on them a little bit.
Fair enough. Okay, you were pretty modest because a lot of times when I ask this question of you guys, you'll go full on Bobby Boucher, and it's just mayhem. But you're pretty modest, so I'll go with that. 6 touchdowns, it's going to win you a game, and 20 tackles, 2 sacks. The Taylor Mustangs come out victoriously. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it works.
Other than Gilly, what are some nicknames that you have?
Oh, I mean, growing up, I had the name Sunshine. I got Sunshine a lot.
Remember the Titans and the long
hair?
hair?
Yeah, the Titans, blonde hair. Pretty similar personalities there. Gilly is probably the one that has stuck the most. I mean, other than people call me 12 or 44 or whatever. I think that goes with teams, but Cullen's kind of a simple name. It's not hard to say. So a lot of people, I didn't really have too many nicknames growing up. I would say Sunshine, and then Gilly happened like my sophomore year of college. So.
Oh, okay. So that's a more recent one, huh?
Yep, Gilly is the more recent one, and that's kind of the one that people know me by. Other than that, most of my friends and family just call me Cullen.
Gotcha. What show have you been binge watching during the pandemic?
Everything. I just finished Yellowstone and actually booked a trip to go to Montana and go fly fishing. The show really
Yellowstone's awesome. You're gonna love it.
Right now, I'm currently rewatching The Office for about the 12th time.
Nothing wrong with that.
I watched Outer Banks. We don't do much, so I've been mowing through shows.
Well, since you bring up The Office and since you've watched it so many times, you're qualified to answer this. Which Houston Texan is most like Dwight Schrute?
It's most like Dwight Schrute. You're looking at a straight-laced guy, someone who's very outspoken. Man, I love Dwight's one of my favorite characters, but I feel like putting Dwight on somebody is not like a form of endearment.
Most like, not who is, but who's most like, because I've asked this question before and I've gotten some interesting answers too.
Max Sharping maybe a little bit. He's not quite as outspoken, but he is full of a ton of useless information.
Really?
Just straight facts about things that I never even thought to care about. And he's big into the he reads a lot of fan fiction and is big into like Harry Potter and stuff like that. So in terms of not necessarily the personality, but the things that they're into and the way they kind of talk, I think I'm going to go with Max Sharping.
But I trust Max Sharping has never brought a dead goose into work and tried to skin it twice.
No, he has not done that.
That's good.
So that's thank God.
Good on Max. Okay. Who's your funniest teammate?
Funny. Tyrell Adams is absolute ball. That man starts talking and you can't help but laugh. That dude's a clown. So I'm gonna go with TA probably.
Okay. What was, if you had one, during a game, what was your welcome to the NFL moment?
I think it was week 2 against Jacksonville. I was on the punt return team, and so I had to man up like a 7 or 8 year vet. And basically, I kind of went out there thinking, oh, I'm faster than this guy. I'll just kind of outrun him. I'm not going to hit him too hard off the line. And I just tried to do some college level moves. And he hit me with one hand and sent me about 3 feet back and left me lying on my back. So that was like, okay, that moves out of the playbook. I guess I'm going to have to maybe listen to my coaches and do things the right way and the techniques that they teach me, not just go out there and freestyle it. So that was probably my welcome to the NFL moment.
That's a good one. Wow. Okay. Jimmy Fallon, I guess I can't remember which game it was, but before you guys played on Sunday Night Football, you know where I'm going with this. He said, he had your picture and said, you're most likely you resemble most likely a background character in the Shrek series. What was your reaction to that? How'd you hear about that? And how much grief have you gotten for it?
Oh, I haven't got, I haven't gotten that much grief because it is kind of cool to be on the Jimmy Fallon show.
Yeah.
So that's I think a lot of my friends and my family thought it was cool, but they also claimed immediately the resemblance that they saw, and I was a little bit uneasy about that. I was like, I mean, and I saw the picture, I was like, oh, okay, like I kind of get it. I mean, yeah, I guess I do look like an extra in Shrek, but it is what it is.
It could have been a lot worse, man, because another guy who played for the Texans who had long blonde hair, kind of like you, Brooks Reed, a few years back. I remember before he went on, or when he went on one time, Fallon said he looks like somebody who would call your sister a prime piece. So, I mean, I think Shrek Villager is better than that.
Oh, that is much better. Yeah, no, Shrek Villager works great. I'm a big fan of Shrek too, so it's not really a problem here. But it definitely opened up some of my friends and family's eyes that I do look like that, and I'm not going to admit to that, but
it's cool. That works. Okay, so you have long blonde hair. I'm probably the 9,941st person to ask you this. How long have you been growing it? How long do you plan to grow it?
So I started growing it like at the end of my sophomore year of college, or redshirt freshman year. But I keep it at the same length. So I don't just once it gets to about here, it starts to get hot, and so I keep it there, and I try and keep it healthy and try and look good. I'm still waiting on some type of shampoo hair deal.
I was going to ask. That was going to be my next question. So like Prel and Pert Plus haven't come to Pantene. None of the P's.
No, I've DM'd Pantene a couple times. Still waiting for a response from them. Really, the way I put it is, I don't really care. My hair is completely up for sale. I will go with any shampoo company anywhere. If they want to pay me to have the hair, I'm all in.
Okay, that's a good attitude. You're welcoming, and you're giving everyone a chance at the success. That's cool. Okay, so we had some technical difficulties on my end. Bad internet. I'm sorry. I'm going to get with the folks from my internet provider. I won't say their name and call them out like that. Cullen, you're a good sport for sticking with me. You just had a birthday, man. What'd you get for your birthday? What was your best birthday present?
I got some new flip-flops.
Oh, yeah?
I got some flip-flops from my parents. And for all of the listeners that are above 21 years old, my parents got me a nice bottle of tequila. So
there you go. Is it still around, or has it been drunk?
It is still around.
It's nice because you want to like spread it out.
I've been holding off. I've been trying to save it, but really, I just I had some friends come down to our house in Galveston and just hung out, and so that was really all I needed. I didn't really.
Okay, folks. So you just got let in. Yeah,
this is what's supposed to happen. This is
curtain is back. Exactly. I have full disclosure, Cullen. I have 2 wiener dogs, and they bark when a gnat coughs across the street. They think they're bulletproof tigers in their minds. So somebody probably just walked by or something, and they were letting their presence be felt. Okay, what's the best birthday present you've ever had?
Best birthday present I've ever gotten was probably my parents got me a truck for my 16th birthday. So that was pretty cool. And then a couple years ago, my dad took us to Louisiana on a fishing trip to a Hackberry Rod and Gun. Got to go and spend the day out on the water and have some father, son, and brother bonding time. So those are pretty up there for some of the best presents I've gotten.
That's awesome. Do you get to fish much?
I try to as much as I can. Now, just kind of like working out in the mornings. It's only an hour to Galveston, so I head down there every now and then, and it's easy because like I said, my family has a house there, so I'm usually down there at least once a week and try to. I mean, it's fishing, it's not catching.
Yeah, I was in that same boat on Saturday. We threw a lot of shrimp in the water. Didn't work out too well.
Yeah, I feel that.
You might have already done this, but if you haven't, you need to take Brian Anger, your punter, down there with you. He spearfishes. I know
that's very common topic of conversation with us riding on the bus for near each other. He's always showing me crazy pictures of him like scuba diving because he has his house in Tampa and he's got an awesome boat and he's always going off on oil rigs and stuff. I don't know. It seems cool and I would definitely want to do it, but I don't know. The ocean's a pretty scary place, and deep diving where you got fish all around you, and there's sharks there.
Yeah.
I don't really get too scared wade fishing, but I feel like deep diving next to an oil rig would freak me out just a little bit.
It's understandable. That's there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, final question. What's the last thing you cooked, and when was it?
The last thing I cooked was a Cajun fettuccine Alfredo. And that was last Wednesday, I want to say.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, okay, well, I consider like that was something I cooked versus like buying a pre-made meal. Like I love H-E-B, and I had a pre-made salmon meal for lunch. But I don't really count that as me cooking. That's just more of just sticking it in the oven for 20 minutes. But I made a Cajun fettuccine Alfredo last week, and it was incredible. It had the, sauteed my shrimp and then sauteed my sausage. And then I had to make the sauce from the saute that was already there. So it was a real spicy, cheesy. It was awesome.
Sounds good. Yeah.
I'd be making it again.
Yeah, and you're in the majority. When I asked this question of your teammates, most of them are kind of like in the last few days. Tywan Jones, who's now with the Bills, when I asked it of him, he hadn't cooked in 3 years since Mother's Day. So you beat them by quite a bit. Yeah.
I hear you. You could ask Duke Johnson that question. He's always cooking up something crazy.
Yeah.
I know he has a chef that's just kind of with him sometimes and walks him through it. And he hasn't cooked for me. I got to spend Thanksgiving with my family, but I know he had a couple of the guys over in the running back room last year for Thanksgiving, and he cooked a big spread for them all. So
they ate well, huh?
I need to get on that. I need to go and try some of his food and see if he knows what he's doing.
Well, get on it, Cullen Gillaspia. Hey, you take the prize. You're a good sport. You stayed on the line despite my crappy internet. You laughed through the dogs barking. That's what we do here in a pandemic. You just got to roll with the punches. I appreciate your patience.
It was an exact representation of meetings for the last month and a half that we've had. In the background, people are, babysitting, doing all types of stuff. Someone forgets to mute their mic, and dogs are barking. So, if anyone's curious what the Texans meetings are like, they're a little bit like that.
That's awesome. I feel better now. I feel like I'm part of the the majority in that aspect. Well, hey, appreciate the time again. Best of luck in getting ready for 2020. Can't wait to see you on the field this season. It looks like it's going to be a fun one, man. Take care.
I'm excited. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to know when we post new content.